Hello dear viewers, my name is Farid Nouri and I'm a migration consultant in Germany. Today I would like to explain for you how you can fill in the attachment KDU of the Jobcenter main application form, which is the abbreviation for Kosten der Unterkunft und Heizung, and in English it means the costs for the accommodation and heating, or the housing costs. Actually, you have to fill in this attachment in addition to the main application form of the Job Center and send them both to the Job Center so that the Job Center can find out how much is the cost for your accommodation and heating, or they can find out if you pay for the cost for the accommodation and heating at all. Now I would like to explain for you how you can fill this form in. Actually, this form is made up of two parts. The first part is on the left side of this application form, and this part, from the beginning till the end of this application, you fill it in by yourself or someone else fills it in for you. But the other side, the right side, this part is actually for Job Center employees, and they have to fill it in. They will fill it in, so you do not have to write anything on this side till the end of this application. The first part of this form is about the personal information of the applicant. Here you write your title. If you're a man, you write Herr. If you're a woman, you write Frau. Here you write your first name. Here you write your last name. Here you write your date of birth. Nummer der Bedarfsgemeinschaft means number of the benefit community. It has a reference number actually. And the abbreviation for Nummer der Bedarfsgemeinschaft ist BG number. If you have already registered yourself in Job Center, you should have a BG number given to you by the Job Center. This number is usually written on the upper corner of the right side of the letter you receive from Job Center. Actually, a benefit community or Bedarfsgemeinschaft can be you yourself alone, if you're living alone, or if you're living with your wife or husband, or with your civil registered partner, or if you're living with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or the children who are living with you who are not married and capable of work and or under 25 years of age and they do not have assets. Anyways, if you've already got this number from Job Center, then you should write it here. Of course, if you have this number, if you do not have it, then you leave this part open. Part 2 is about the general information about your accommodation and the costs for your accommodation. So here you write the address of your accommodation or the apartment or the house you have. And here you write the total number of the persons, including you, living in this apartment or in this house. Here you write the year of the construction of the accommodation. Here you write the total area of the accommodation, how big it is, and you provide the information about the area or how big it is with a square meter. For example, it can be 40 square meters or 45 or 50 or 80 square meters. You write the area or this information here. Here you write the number of the rooms this accommodation has. Here you write the number of kitchens this apartment has. Here you write the number of bathrooms this accommodation has. Here you give the information about the fact that how much of the accommodation you use by yourself. And here you write how much of the area of this apartment you have rented to another person or you have leased it to another person. And here you write the information about the fact that how much of the area of this accommodation is vacant or empty. Here you give information about the fact that how much of this apartment you use commercially, and if this accommodation is your own property, here you write the number of residential units of it. If you have rented this accommodation from another person, you mark here with a cross, and below you provide information about the exact amount of the monthly costs for this accommodation. Here you write the rent of the accommodation without its extra costs. Here you write its extra costs, how much it is, without the heating costs. Here you write its heating costs. And here you write its other costs. Actually, you find all this information in your renting contract with your landlord. And you should also send them an up-to-date proof about the fact that the information you have provided here about the costs, when you pay them exactly. If you live in an accommodation which is your own property, you mark here with a cross and you provide information about the exact amount of the monthly costs for this accommodation below. Here you write the amount of the interest on debt excluding repayment installments. Here you write the extra costs for this accommodation without the heating costs. Here you write the heating costs of this accommodation, and here you write the other accommodation costs of this apartment or this house. And you should also send them an up-to-date proof about the fact that how much you pay monthly for these costs and when exactly you pay these costs. And below you provide information about the fact that what are the extra costs or the accommodation costs are made up of. You can choose among these options provided here, and you can of course choose more than one of them if it's true in the case of your accommodation. If these costs are made up of the basic taxes, you mark here with a cross. If they are made up of the chimney sweep fees, you mark here with a cross. If they include the insurance of the accommodation, you mark here with a cross. If they include water costs, you mark here with a cross. If they include sewage costs, you mark here with a cross. If they include garbage fees, you mark here with a cross. If they include street cleaning costs, you mark here with a cross. And if they include heating maintenance costs, you mark here with a cross. And if any other costs are included, you mark here with a cross, and here you write the type of the costs it includes or they include. If this accommodation is not your own property, you leave this part empty or open and you just draw a line on this part like this. Part 3 is about the energy sources. And here you provide information about the fact that with which of these options you heat your accommodation. If the source for the heating of your accommodation is electricity, you mark here with a cross. If it's a district heating, you mark here with a cross. If it's gas, you mark here with a cross. If it is wood, you cross here. If it is fuel oil, you mark here with a cross. If it is something else, you mark here with a cross and you write it here what it is. If you procure the fuels by yourself, you mark here with a cross. Here you provide information about the type of the heating. If it's central heating, you mark here with a cross. If it's a single furnace, you mark here with a cross. If it is night storage heater, you mark here with a cross. Here you provide information about the fact that with what you cook. If it's electricity, you mark here. If it's gas, you mark here. If it's something else, you mark here and you write it, what it is. Below you should provide information about the fact that with what do you produce your hot water. If it's central, for example, there is a central heating system, you mark here with a cross. Or if it's decentralized, for example, you have a boiler or instantaneous water heater, you mark here with a cross. And if it is with electricity, you mark here. If it is with wood, you mark here. With gas, you mark here. With coal, you mark here. And if it is with fuel oil, you mark here. And if it is with something else, you mark here and you write it here with what it is. In addition to the information you have provided in these parts, you should also send to the Job Center an up-to-date proof about them. In part 4 of this attachment, you provide information about the bank account of the landlord if you have rented the apartment or the house from someone else and you want Job Center to send the rent of this apartment or the house you have rented directly to your landlord. So if it is the case with you, then you write the name of your landlord here, the complete name. Here you write the address of the landlord, and here you write the IBAN number of the bank account of your landlord. And here you confirm that the information you have provided in this form are true and right. Here you write the name of the city where you and this person live, and you write the date in which you will send this form to the Job Center. As an applicant, you should sign here. As an applicant, if you're a minor child, your legal representative should sign here. Thanks a lot for watching my video. If you would like to get similar important information about the immigration laws in Germany, your rights and duties in German society, the living conditions in Germany, and other such important topics, please subscribe and follow our channel. If you have any questions or remarks about today's topic, you can write it under this video and I will be more than happy to answer it for you.